People ask me why I do this, why I record podcasts. Do you know why? I want you to guess why I would do it.
Because you're a narcissist?
Not because I'm a narcissist, although my favorite subject that we talk about is me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, another guess. Guess two. Yeah, 3 strikes.
Okay, so it's not because you're a narcissist.
Not because I'm a narcissist, no.
Okay, it's because you're trying to compensate for something.
Compensation is done by my vehicle and by the way that I talk, but not the reason I do the podcast.
Okay, so it's not narcissism.
Nope.
It's not compensation.
It's nice to know how highly you think of me, though. In no way am I concerned about that.
Okay, then last but not least, I'm going to have to say it's because you truly and deeply care for the well-being of others and you want to educate the population in a meaningful way.
That is exactly not what I'm doing. That is the opposite of what I'm doing. I'm here to not only because I hate people, because I want to mislead people as much as possible.
I was way off the mark with that.
The reason why I did this for so long and why we do this for so long, in my head, the reason I did is because I want to subjugate and diminish a family of 4. I want to, like the nuclear family, I want to find them and take away all of their happiness or life. I want them just to fall apart and diminish, and that's why we do this.
Yeah, so you've been
is to hurt the family unit as much as possible.
You've been podcasting for years with this one underlying theme.
This is the reason we do it. This is our raison d'etre, and this is ROFLcast. Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new edition of ROFLcast. I am your host, Achilles, joined by my bacon, my eggs, my optional hash brown with purchase of Eggs Benedict, Doc Hollywood.
Hey!
It has been nearly 2 weeks since we've seen each other.
Yes.
Or years.
But maybe years.
Might have been years.
It may have been.
Could be weeks, could be years.
I lost track of memory in there.
What do you want to share that you've been doing for the last dose weeks?
Dose weeks? Yeah. Oh, you know, this and that. A couple of things here and there.
So you have a new job.
Yeah, a new job.
Girlfriend's moved away, so you're free.
Yes, I'm free.
You can bring as many male prostitutes as you want back home without her knowing.
Yes, I can get as many male prostitutes as I need.
You travel for your job?
Yes, travel quite a bit.
You work a lot.
I do work a lot now.
You work hard.
Work too much. I need more of this.
But you love the job.
I do love
a great job.
What I do.
And you will be moving to the west coast of Canada.
That is the plan.
That's the possibility.
Yes.
That's where your girlfriend is.
That is where she is at this moment in time.
Yeah. And while she's away, the boys will play.
That's the plan.
Before we get into anything, the most important news I can give you in 2 years, the most important thing I can tell you is that I pooped blue.
You pooped blue.
Here's the story.
I'm ready for this, I think.
I go in for a little stomach surgery, a little scopy up the old bum hole.
Yeah, going for
it's called a colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy, okay.
Checking on that colon.
Just want to make sure it's in good shape.
It's in great shape.
Okay, that's good.
So I don't like butt stuff, so out of fear, I wore my Batman socks and my Batman underwear, both of which have capes.
Okay.
To the surgery, because that's the only thing you can wear when you take off the robes.
Acceptable.
So the nurses see that, they're laughing. I'm like, oh, well, I have an in. So I'm talking up, I'm making them laugh, I'm chatting them up a little bit. And I get into the doctor, and the doctor's telling me about the surgery and how long it'll take and the medicine they give me. And I was like, do you have any questions? And to which I reply, yeah, you may not be able to get in there because my butthole is about as tight as it gets.
Yes.
It is clamped shut right now. Because, I mean, I don't want to be offensive, but I just don't like butt stuff. Okay, and I know you love it. I wish the doctor was like, no. I wouldn't say I love butt stuff. I'm like, well, it is your calling. I love computers. You must love butt stuff. So she laughed, whatever. I'm like, just give me as much medication as possible, because if you don't put me the fuck out, you ain't getting in that butt. I don't care how tiny that camera is. It ain't fitting in.
Put me out for it.
You gotta get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like, if I'm even, because they have to keep you semi-conscious or else your bowels, you need to have muscles in your bowel going. So I was like, no, you need to get me as far gone as possible. Like, okay, we'll do it. I was like, did you do an enema? Which is where you take a tube that looks like a small water bottle with a nozzle, you put it up your ass, you squeeze it all out into your butt, and then you hold the liquid for 10 seconds. Okay. Now, 10 seconds doesn't seem like a long time.
No, it seems quite short.
But let me just do this for you. 10 Mississippi. 9 Mississippi. Now imagine there's an entire liter of liquid in your asshole at this moment. I'll keep going.
You gotta
Mississippi.
tighten those muscles.
And then you release it, and then all of your bowels get out. And I was like, listen, that didn't happen. I'll eat less the day before, and I'll take one of those Epsom salt cleanses.
Oh,
you drink 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt.
Yeah.
And more water.
That cleans
and then
you
you
out.
just shit.
Yeah. People do
nonsense.
fasts like that.
Yeah. Horrible dehydration. They couldn't even get the IV in because I was so dehydrated from doing it. Not a big deal. So they put me the fuck out. They weren't fucking around. They put me out. So I'm gone for most of this. When I wake up to like a fuzzy Asian figure in front of me that's like kind of coming in and out of like blurriness, and it's when I'm like, that's all I hear. And finally, when it finally like centers and like it snaps into focus, and I can hear what they're saying, it just, all I can get is, and you'll poop blue. Any questions? I'm like, I didn't hear any of that before poop blue. She laughs and walks away, just assuming I'm joking. Sorry. Just assuming I'm joking. I literally just whacked a woman in the face by using my hand gestures. Too big. And so I was like, well, motherfucker, I'm clearly high as shit. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what she said. She won't tell me 'cause she thinks I'm joking. I go home. A couple hours later, sure enough, motherfucker poops blue. And if I didn't snap it at that last second, you imagine how terrified I would be if I just shit blue and be like, what the fuck just happened?
What did I eat?
Or did they shove a Smurf up there while I was fucking asleep? But yeah, it was...
It's like is it a chemical reaction to do with the medication?
They sprayed in there
anesthesia?
to dye the stomach so they can see it better.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was just a bunch of blue shit. And that was interesting because it almost looked like when I went to the bathroom that I cleaned the toilet with one of those blue flusher things, but it was the opposite
So
of that. It was
1,000 flushes was
it was
inside of you?
So immediately after that, my sister has a baby. Second most important thing that happens to me that day.
Okay, that day. Okay.
Yeah. So my sister has a baby.
Sister has a baby.
Which I believe is the 4th sign of the apocalypse. The 3rd seal says the Antichrist would be born, and he was born that day. So the first, I get in there, my sister's there with her baby, and I'm like, that baby looks like a faggot. And instead of being like, fuck you, or she looks at me, she's like, does he actually look gay? Like with real concern in her voice. This is immediately following the baby exiting her, as if I could somehow tell by looking at her. I'm like, no, I can't tell if the baby's gay, but that shouldn't matter, right?
No, it shouldn't.
No. But it does. And that baby came out with a full beard. You wanna know how brown babies exist? Literally a full beard.
Alright.
The top sideburns, back hair coming for days.
Well, I would also like to say maybe the first thing to say to someone after they've had a baby is not to say your baby looks gay
or like a faggot.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it like that. Come on, Jesus. So I don't know if people remember, but our last episode we posted was episode 54, Hail Korea, where we talked about Kim Jong-un being a bitch.
Oh, did we?
So we started the war. Everyone thought it was the interview. It was us.
Actually us.
It was us calling him Foon-kun and some crazy piece of shit and being super racist.
Oh.
Can you believe that? We not only predicted the episode of The Daily Show called Procrastination,
we did,
but we also predicted the interview causing World War III. That is in that episode.
We should be futurists.
We are futurists. We're unintentional. Here's my prediction for the future.
Okay, I'm listening.
2045. Everyone sharing meow meow beans. No more cell phones. You all carry around full desktop computers that we set up as like a retro thing.
Oh, so
yeah.
The hipsters of 2045?
Full desktops, yeah.
You just take desktop computers with you everywhere.
Full desktop. You use special backpacks with monitors and desktop towers.
These suspenders that just connect to the desk.
And I'm not talking about like a cool little Busby box. I'm talking about like an old school beige tower with an IBM keyboard. Mm-hmm. And what are they playing? Commander Keen. 2045.
There you go.
Mark my words. It has been decided.
Apparently.
It has been future-proof.
So in the past 2 weeks, you seem to have also done a lot of traveling.
In 2 weeks, I've been to 31 countries.
Go on.
In the last 2 weeks, I've spent about 6 months out the country. And 2015 looks like I'll be spending 7 months out the country.
Hey, well, you know, you should.
Which is not only illegal, but gets me on the no-fly list in the U.S.
Oh, well, so I take it you're not going to the U.S.
Well, I go to the U.S. It just takes me a long time to get in and out. I'm flagged every single way. It's super fun,
And you got to sit there for...
I'm super fun with strip searches, though. I like showing them off.
Yeah, you're like, hey, guys.
When I take off my pants, I try to do them really sexy. sexy. I'm like, oh no, I guess these are falling off. I don't want my massive balls to fall out. And I'll lean over the table and my testicles like fall on the table, and I'll look at them really sexily. But I gotta say, of the 14 times I've done it, it's only led to sex 20 times.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Fuck twice in these places.
Your ratio is pretty good.
Yeah. Listen, you want dick when you're traveling, just pull out your balls.
Always gets the job done. Always gets the job done.
So, you've been flying domestically. How have you found the state of our domestic travel here in North America?
Here in North America? Well, mainly I've only been flying in and out of Canada, and that process is very streamlined for a Scandinavian heritage individual. It's quite
wide nose. It must be Scandinavian.
It's a very streamlined process.
That's good.
Traveling to Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg.
So do you have to wear loose shorts for anal cavity searches, or how does it work for you?
Never had to deal with any of those types of scenarios, the situations.
Do you wear slip-ons so you can kick off your shoes faster?
I do always take my shoes off, and I started doing that when I was traveling to the States a lot in the past, just as kind of a general policy.
Not required in Canada.
Not required in Canada, no. But always pretty much, I'd say 98% of the time, don't ever get flagged. But I've had to do, the X-ray machine, and I've asked them a couple of times.
Do you ever opt out of the X-ray machine because you know it's harmful for you and you travel?
I have asked them to pat me down to set. And I liken it to the fact that, if I go to a rock concert at a stadium, or if I go to, certain events, you get pat down by security. It's pretty much the same experience that I've had.
They use the back of the hands for the genitals.
I think that's the policy. I can't remember specifics. It's been a while.
I know specifics. Believe me,
I imagine you would know the specifics. Yeah. But domestically traveling is actually quite easy. You can honestly get to your flights, less than an hour before you got to go.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing just carry-on, 45 minutes, and you're in and out.
Shout out to the super hot receptionist at WestJet that checked my bag for free and got me on my flight with less than an hour before I checked out. There's literally a girl staring at me who's super jealous right now. Hopefully Ariana Grande wouldn't say these things.
I am today.
You're not Mexican, your boobs are too small.
Oh, I didn't know Mexicans had large.
Yeah, you got great ass.
Okay.
No, Mexicans are all TNA. It's the only reason they exist.
That's their only
tacos and TNA
for being alive.
Tacos and enchiladas. It's TNA.
I'm a fan of burritos. I'm not gonna
love burritos.
Mucho burritos, delicious.
Dude, Chipotle. I would have just lived off Chipotle while in the States. Not only is it calorie counted for you, but you can also get a delicious salad bowl. I got a salad bowl, a side of sour cream, side of guac, 2 beers for $13 American.
So we don't have Chipotle in Canada, though.
We do not, but they're looking for people to open up franchises here. I think I might be investing in a fucking Chipotle franchise.
Well, you should do it.
Maybe. Yeah,
I've heard great things about it, although I've never...
you specifically, I think, would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Well,
especially if you're meat vacation right now.
Yes, my meatcation.
Your meatcation.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is that usually I don't eat meat and usually eat beef, and I ate beef today. You did. Meat.
No, I didn't eat any.
It's so strange.
I'm doing a meat fast, as I like to put it. The reality of the situation, I've been vegetarian since October.
I've been vegetarian since October as well, but not by choice, because you meat in India, right?
Oh, that's true. Well, no, chicken. Or you do not classify chicken as a meat?
No, just sometimes you get chicken. 99% of the time it's vegetarian, I'd say. Fish and chicken are pretty rare.
So it's not like I imagine it when you're in India, every meal is saffron rice, naan bread, and buttered chicken in delicious sauce.
Yeah, buttered chicken is something made by white people. It's nothing new to India. It's usually sabji, which is cauliflower, saag paneer, which is spinach stewed with cheese block.
Yeah.
It's a tofu cheese. Very, very good. Paneer is the most common.
Yeah,
and then
you can get that
naan
here
and roti is those are.
So is buttered chicken not actually a thing over in India?
It's not. It's like ginger beef. It's not a thing in China.
So then what do you, if you want that delicious, tomato, yogurt, buttery sauce?
In Punjab, they have something similar to it.
Yeah.
But the food that we know in North America as Indian food is Punjabi food. Rich and heavy creamy sauces,
yes.
naan,
yes.
tandoori stuff. Whereas that's northeast India, whereas the rest of India is very, very different. Fish fry is very popular in northeastern. You go to southern India, it's rice flour to make all their stuff, and cumin and jeera. I don't know what the English word is. Yep. I know the names for all the food, but I just don't know what they are in English.
Yeah.
I can say idli and papadum, but it wouldn't mean anything to anybody. Dosas, maybe. I don't know.
No, some people would know.
Maybe some people would know.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit earlier, but in northern India on the Ganges, if you ever go, there's a thing called bhang, which is B-H-A-N-G. And what it is, it's the marijuana leaves that they use from Hindu Kush, where marijuana's from, and they make that into their religious. So at the end of like a prayer ceremony in India, what they do is like, whereas in North America you get like wine and a piece of bread, they give you a sweet, which is like a small cake soaked in syrup. And those are all psychoactive. Those are all made with weed butter. So when you eat them, you get high as a motherfucker. So when you see like...
No wonder people are into religion over there.
It makes sense. All these multi-armed gods of meditation makes a ton of sense when you're high out of your fucking mind all goddamn day. When you're high as shit, when you see a cow, you're like, oh yeah, he's super friendly. I want to be part of his life.
Totally.
That's great. That's another great thing. Cows, camels, peacocks, and dogs. Everywhere. I'm like, you'll be standing in a group. Let's just say you're standing with your buddies on the corner. Like, we were standing outside having a smoke earlier. If we were standing there, guaranteed if we're in India, a cow would just like walk up to us and just like stand in our circle. Yeah. They just like being around people. It's very strange. And then when you get used to it, you're just like, oh, I don't want to eat them anymore because they're like dogs at that point.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I like get up and I'd feed the cows. So that being said, I just had beef a minute ago, and I feel totally guilty.
Well, it did look good, if that's any consolation.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about, I had bacon wrapped meatloaf mac and cheese. It was about 1,400 calories. But my daily caloric intake, it was pretty great. But that's
breakfast.
That's breakfast.
Yeah.
That's why you understand why people don't eat cows in India. Is because when they're treated like a dog there, you don't want to eat a dog or a cat
you treat them like a pet, right?
Yeah. And people just deal with them. If they're in the middle of traffic, you just go around them. Lying in the road, you just go around them. It's kind of like how Banff treats moose, right? Moose are just part of life. Bovine are like that. They just wander and do their own thing. They're so big, they're not scared of anything.
What do you think about, like I know in our area, in regards to regulation, there was a big thing going on in regards to people having pot-belly pigs as pets.
Yeah.
Do you think part of that is because they don't want to, turn the bacon creators into pets?
I would not be surprised if there was like a bacon lobby that was like, you got to keep it illegal.
We got to make that regulation.
Because it's not just one person having as a pet, it's other people seeing them as a pet.
Yeah.
And then saying to their kids, oh, you're eating, our neighbor's pet.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, I totally see that.
Because that's the thing. As soon as you start to build like a relationship beyond, this is just food, it makes it more difficult to be. And that's why they always say, if you're going to eat something, you should go and kill it. Yeah. Be the one to kill it.
No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I got one deer like a year and a half ago, and it's still going. Yeah. I still got deer jerky.
Yeah, some venison.
Yeah.
I used to eat moose jerky back in the day. My dad would go hunting.
Moose stew is delicious. Moose jerky is delicious. Just moose roast is not very good.
I've never had a moose roast.
It's too tough.
Yeah. Wild meat kind of always has that wild meat taste.
Whereas if I had venison, I can take a backstrap. I can just take a backstrap on a hot grill, slam it on either side so it's brown, and then eat it. It's perfect. Whereas moose, I don't find that. Same with bear. Bear sausage is great.
I've never eaten bear.
Really? You've been in Vancouver. I figured you would have. Because he has a huge bear problem.
No,
it's a legit bear problem in BC.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's a problem. It's not like you're living in a city.
It as a problem.
Yeah, but it's not like you're living in a city and a bear comes and attacks you.
That's what's happening now. Not attacking, but bears coming into cities to get garbage and shit.
I lived in a small town for many years, and in that whole time, one bear came into the town in a way that it came across that it could be
on the island?
a danger. No, this was in northern BC.
Oh, and really, that's it?
Yeah, just once. But that being said, we had a dump, and at the dump, we had a bear problem.
I can see, there we go.
There was like 40 bears just eating garbage.
That's crazy.
They actually had to build an electric fence around the whole
that's crazy
dump yard to keep
I bet
the
you
bears
that's the only fucking dump yard in the world is a goddamn electric fence.
Yeah, well, hey, you had to keep the bears out.
That's probably why bears taste like garbage, because they fucking eat goddamn garbage.
I suppose, that's what they say. There's certain type of grouse that I think they eat pine needles and shit. Yeah. And they say you do not want to kill and eat those because they just taste god awful.
Really? Yeah. Because the grouse here is fucking delicious. I love grouse here.
Well, and that's, they say depending on the diet that the animal's eating, it does have an effect on what it tastes like when...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's like, even rainfall affects animals. Brown bears and black bears are the same animal. If there's more than 40 millimeters of precipitation per year, then it's a black bear. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Or brown bear, sorry. That's the only difference. And even like wild boars and pigs pigs are the same animal. If you take a domestic pig and you let it out in the wild, it'll become gray, its hair will go wiry, and it'll grow tusks. They become completely different animals, just being wild versus domesticated.
Is that true?
Yeah. Their physiology completely changes. Pigs are crazy like that. Like, pigs are just fucking nuts. Because you think boar, like the razorback boar, is a Holstein pig. They're the same animal. Just one's domesticated, one's not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Literally, you can take a domestic, and it's happened. Like, people who've died on farms or whatever, and their pigs have gone wild, they become boars. Their tusks get bigger, their skin becomes denser and gray, because when when they're outside, they're wallowing in dirt more, they get more gray, and they also grow tusks. They will full-door tusks.
Well, did you watch the Cosmos series with Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there was a great one of the episodes when they talked about the domestication of
of course,
wild dogs into like domestic dogs and all the breeding that's taken place and all of that.
Within the last 6,000 years.
Exactly.
We went from fucking pugs to Great Danes in 6,000 years. Mm-hmm. Unreal.
Well, even from like a human civilization standpoint, if you think of the last 6,000 years, we're going from like, mud huts and very, very basic sort of agricultural type societies to today. Jesus, that is a massive
Let me
difference.
argue that. Göbekli Tepe, 10,000 years old.
Sure.
Advanced structures, advanced pottery, advanced...
okay. Advanced is one thing, technology is another. And that's only been in the last couple hundred years.
They had aqueduct systems like the Romans. Yeah. They had stuff 10,000 years ago that we had to rediscover 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, because they got wiped out in the process. And I'm not denying that there weren't certain advancements that did exist back then.
It's just that we've gone in waves. We've had advanced civilization. They're just falling apart. Like, look at the Sphinx.
It depends on what you put the definition of advanced as. What was?
I would say
and how could we
modern plumbing, like plumbing, flushing water.
Yeah.
Sanitation and full dwellings. That's what I would say is modern. Mm-hmm. Because even what we consider modern now has only been the last 200 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Even, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Not even.
We haven't had this type of a society ever in the history.
What most kids, like most 90s kids, would consider what technology or what modern society is in the last 12 years.
Oh yeah.
Cell phones, widespread internet.
Dude, iPhone
laptops.
is still less than 10 years old.
There you go.
Facebook is less than 10 years old.
Tablets are less than 10 years old.
Exactly.
Wow.
And these are things that are totally integrated into our society, the way we function, the way
That's
we
what
do
we think
business,
about modern society.
everything.
This is what we think about.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of modern society has produced many great advancements like CG. Great CG that's found in movies like Days of Future Past.
Hey, that was a very good film.
How
Very
good was that movie?
It was
That may be the best one.
From last year? Yeah, I would think so. Definitely the best X-Men.
Can you say your favorite superhero movies of 2014?
Of 2014, my favorite superhero? Well, it wasn't Spider-Man.
I still like, for all Spider-Man's misgivings, I like the two main leads quite a bit.
Yes, and I didn't actually mind it. Like the last in the Spider-Man, the third one that Raimi did.
Yeah,
I disliked that film.
I didn't like anything about that movie.
Yeah. Whereas the two new ones, I do actually enjoy them for
like
what
the
they are. Yeah, the actors do a really great job.
Like the actors, as a director, I don't like the CG, the story, the scripts, the
Some of the stories definitely heavy-handed.
I don't like anything else.
Oh yeah.
I just like the director and the main actors.
But I would say probably from last year, Days of Future Past was by far the best. Oh, wait a minute.
Don't say Guardians. Don't say Guardians.
What? You know it's true.
Guardians is good,
It is
but it's
great.
It's not as good as Iron Man 1. It's not as good as Captain America 2, and it's not as good as Days of Future Past.
Okay, I honestly, I would say it's not better than Days of Future Past, but I did enjoy it more than Winter Soldier.
Really?
I liked Winter Soldier for what it was.
Perfect. I thought it was better than Born Identity.
The reason why I like Guardians is because they kind of took a different approach to it, where they
hugely different approach.
Yeah, they still made it fun and entertaining and interesting without it feeling like it was campy on the level of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films.
It was campy, but in like a fun. We know we're campy.
Yeah,
campy.
it didn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, it was the right amount of humor that was injected into it.
Well,
And
I think Chris Pratt is just so funny.
Oh,
anything he does will be
totally.
funny.
He did a great job.
He was funny on the OC. Like he was.
What season of the OC was he on?
3.
Okay.
When someone went to
stopped
college,
watching by that point.
When someone went to college, she met a guy who was like an animals rights activist, and she became one. It was Chris Pratt who played the character.
Was he overweight back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Super overweight. Yeah. I mean, he was even. I mean, if you look at season 4 and 5 of Parks and Rec, or 5 and 6 of Parks and Rec, they're like, "Wow, you lost a lot of weight." He's like, "I just stopped drinking beer." Oh no, 4 and 5 because he did Zero Dark 30 first and got ripped for that.
Okay.
And he lost like 40 pounds.
Is it bad that I haven't seen Zero Dark 30?
Yeah, that's a mistake on your part. It's a fantastic movie. Zero Dark 30 is well worth its time. Yeah. I mean, it was Oscar noms. It was a good movie. Yeah, very good movie. Grand Budapest Hotel, still my favorite movie of last year.
Still didn't watch it. It's now on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. There's no excuse.
I need to get on that.
It's a date movie though. You gotta watch it.
Is it watch it with the lady?
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'll make sure that's on the list there.
Winter Soldier was directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, who directed Community episodes. Also starring Robert Redford, who's my favorite actor. So there are reasons why I'm biased towards it, but I love spy movies. I love Spy Game, I love Last Castle, but I think that this was like the best superhero spy movie I've ever seen. Period. It's the best Captain America by far, obviously, but I liked it in different ways as I liked Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And Iron Man 3 I liked as well, but like Iron Man 1, there's something very special about it. But I'm telling you, Days of Future Past was a 90s cartoon in a movie.
Oh, for sure.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
And they had I love this character Blink, who's in nothing. She's in Age of Apocalypse and Exiles. No one outside the mainstream knows who she is, and she was in the movie. And I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Well, and they gave their character like some meaning behind what she was there to do, and
oh yeah, she was the main battle scene. She was the one that made the battle scene interesting. Because they didn't want to bring Nightcrawler back because I hate that guy who played him, right?
Yeah.
Alan, what's his name?
I don't know.
Not Alan That's Alan Cummings. He was so difficult to work with that they were like, we'll just never work with him ever again. Nightcrawler's gone.
Yeah.
Because he was the most popular character in X-Men 2. Never show up again for a reason, because the actor's so hard to work with. But he did such a good Nightcrawler, it's hard to get rid of him.
Oh yeah, he did a very good job of that.
Yeah.
And I would say overall, like even looking at the X-Men franchise of films, I think Days of Future Past is by far the best.
Yeah. And even like First Class was fantastic.
First Class was great.
Great movie, but Days of Future Past is by far the best. And even though it's a Wolverine movie again, it was still better than all the other movies.
Well, it kind of put some of my faith back into Bryan Singer's abilities again.
Oh, after Jack and the Giant Slayer?
The movies that he had been doing, like, you know, he started on such a high point with Usual Suspects and, you know...
Half People.
Yeah, exactly. And X2.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great films that he had done, and then...
He revolutionized the superhero movie. X1 changed the game for everybody.
Well, it did the origin story very well, and it brought it into a modern day audience.
Yes.
And it took these stories that were mainly known for their
cheese, maybe.
For their not just their cheese, but being very 80s centric and having that kind of mentality.
Early 90s, late
and
80s.
just modernized it, and also utilized concepts in modern science to make it not only applicable but tangible and accessible to the audience of today. So it was really nice to not be treated like you're dumb as an audience member, and for it to be like, no, this is a serious film, you know, about these concepts and ideas. We're doing it for the modern day society, and
we wouldn't have the huge slew of modern superhero movies. Like Joel Schumacher killed it. When Joel Schumacher took over Superman and Batman, he was like, we don't want to have a Keaton trilogy with Tim Burton. Although that would have been one of the greatest superhero trilogies of all time. That would have been
amazing if they could have done a third.
Well, the last one was supposed to be Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze. Like, how fucking good would have Tim Burton done on that, right?
Amazing.
And but no, none of it, because Schumacher wanted to be silly and campy. He did Superman as well. Superman 3 and Quest for Peace. Oh, we have to get Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor's not meant for a superhero movie. He's funny, he's talented, he's not a superhero movie construct. So Schumacher ruined superhero movies, and they were dead. He honestly killed them because of his bad decisions. And then X-Men brought it back. Yeah. X-Men saved it on a shoestring budget with Fox, who had no other properties at that time. They fucking nailed it. They killed it.
Well, and then after that, you know, Sam Raimi did the Spider-Man films, and they kind of grew from that perspective.
Oh yeah, and then we had things like V for Vendetta, which got us the other like Vertigo titles like Watchmen and shit. You know, there's a lot of evolution points, but X-Men 1 was the biggest one, I'd say. Because what other big superhero movie came out before that? And that movie led to Hulk, it led to Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, everything. It led to DC reinvigorating the franchise. You know, if it wasn't for X-Men being such a blockbuster trilogy, they would have never been like, oh, we need to make Batman Begins now. You know, and when they did, they did a fantastic job on it, spawned that trilogy, and that trilogy pushed Avengers forward.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, and now it's pushing more of the Justice League characters into the mainstream again,
which I don't care for.
Well, still, I would go and watch a movie based around those characters. Like
I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I love that. I actually really like the Superman. What's his name? What's Superman's name? His real name?
Clark Kent?
No, he's the actor. The actor. I'm blanking on his name. We've had quite a few beers, by the way. We're at a bar if you can't hear.
What's Superman, the actor's name?
Yeah, the new one. What's the new Superman's name?
The actor.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
I love Henry Cavill Superman. I would have loved if they made, instead of Gal Gadot, the super hot Jewish chick from Fast and Furious 5, 6, and 7, I would have way preferred that they had his real life girlfriend, UFC fighter, fucking Gina Carano, or Strike Force fighter Gina Carano, as Wonder Woman. She looks like Wonder Woman. She has black hair, blue eyes. She has the build for it. She's super jacked. She's a professional fighter, one of the greatest fighters ever, and she's dating Superman in real life.
Seems logical.
Why would you not have her as fucking Wonder Woman? Instead of getting a 150-pound jacked woman who's beautiful, they get a 90-pound Jewish girl who couldn't arm wrestle me. Yeah. She's not Wonder Woman. She's way too thin. It's impossible.
Do you think they'll do a story of Lois Lane versus Wonder Woman?
I love that. I love that. I love the love triangle between Lois Lane. I even prefer a love triangle between Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I prefer that. I mean, a much better storyline. I know everyone hates Affleck. Watch The Town. Watch $1 Million Baby, his directing job. Watch Syriana or Argo, or not Syriana, sorry, Argo, or what was the last movie he did? Gone Girl. He's incredible. He's fucking incredible. He's a great actor.
I think the biggest reason that so many people had initial sort of hate on it is just because of what happened with Daredevil.
Daredevil's not his fault.
No, I wouldn't agree that it's his fault either, but I have seen him do some pretty campy, shitty acting. But he can and has been known to be a very good actor.
He did some campy shit in his early days, but he's gotten a lot better.
Did you ever watch Paycheck?
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Reindeer Games? Speaking of which, his wife is on TV.
I liked him in Reindeer Games.
No, you didn't. No one liked Reindeer Games.
Okay, I like Charlize Theron's tits in Reindeer Games.
There you go. That's acceptable. When it comes to but he can act now. We know he can act now.
Yes. Oh yeah. We know. Yeah. He can definitely, and I think he can pull off one hell of a Bruce Wayne.
He has the dimpled chin, the strong jaw. But if anyone's gonna play an older Batman, why not just get Michael Keaton?
That would have been amazing if they brought him back. Yeah.
Who cares if he's old? Who cares if he's old? Get him in shape and bring him back.
And it would have been if they're going to use the Superman Batman storyline that they should.
Yeah.
That would be incredible to have.
Which is Public Enemies, where Batman's a lot older than Superman is kind of a mentor. And it would have been he's doing Beetlejuice. Why not bring him back for fucking?
Yeah, I saw that the other day. They posted.
I'm excited as shit for Beetlejuice, dude.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Beetlejuice. They gotta get everybody back though. Get Catherine Keener back. Get
what's her name? She hasn't been in shit for a long time. She was in
Pumpkin. That was the last movie I remember her in.
What else was she in? Winona Ryder.
It wasn't Winona, was it?
It was totally Winona Ryder. She was the one in Beetlejuice.
No, it was somebody. Look up the girl that was in Pumpkin.
No, it was Winona Ryder.
Just look up the girl in Pumpkin. That's all I have.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, let's put money on this. If we're gonna spend time to figure it out, we're gonna put money on this.
Okay, sure. I'll put a beer.
A beer? Okay. You seem very committed.
A beer's a good bet.
Winona Ryder was in Beetlejuice.
Damn it.
Lydia Dietz. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Alec
I'm thinking of the girl from
Gina Davis?
No, I'm thinking of the girl from Addams Family. That's where I got fucked up in my head.
Oh, Christina Ricci.
Ricci! Yeah. She was in Pumpkin. Yeah. God damn it. Alright, I'll eat a beer. Okay, that's good news, but aside from that, Sansa motherfucking Stark, my favorite jailbait, is gonna be Jean Grey.
Apparently, yeah, in the next X-Men movie.
That's exciting. She's redhead.
Yep.
But she does not look like Famke Janssen at all.
No.
Hey, listen. Last time Famke was hot, let's be honest, was in GoldenEye. It's been a long time since she was,
No, she pulled off a great green Jean Grey.
Not in 3. 3, she looked old, her hair was flat.
Yeah, she was starting to go.
Hated her haircut next to
But
as
even,
well.
that being said, it's not like Jennifer Lawrence looks like Romaine Stamos
Romaine
there.
Stamos,
Well, I guess just Romaine
Rebecca
now.
Romaine. No, she was married to O'Connell. Rebecca Romaine O'Connell.
O'Connell.
Yeah. Married to Jerry O'Connell.
She
about a
married
downgrade.
O'Connell.
Yeah, she's like, I
and
love 80s
Stamos.
stars. Yeah, she just loves them.
Jesus Christ.
She obviously has a type. 80s handsome stars. She's really obsessed with her youth, apparently.
Yeah, she's trying to cling
Stamos
on.
is still handsome, though.
Oh, man.
She fucking made a
He's
mistake.
lady killer. Stamos is a lady killer.
All she's doing is like, I'm going to unleash you to fuck everyone on the planet. You know what I mean? That's essentially
I'm
what
going
happened
to
to
unleash
Aniston.
you. I let you go. Go into the wild.
Stamos is too pretty. Shouldn't be real. Like,
Bang
freak
all the
motherfucker.
cougars you can, Stamos.
Not even. He's being all the 20-year-olds that grew up on his shit.
Oh, so like the ones that watch like
Full House.
Oh, Jesus.
They want a little piece of Uncle Jesse when they're discovering the
Oh
sexuality.
my God! So girls our age.
Yeah. Girls in their like late 20s, early 30s, they're fucking all over that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they roll. I love Sansa Stark and I love Game of Thrones. I'm curious to see how she does an American accent. Mm-hmm. Really, because that's an honest concern that not a lot of people have. People just assume all British people can do American. They can, like, when they listen to Michael Fassbender, like, oh yeah, they can all do it. Or listen to Benedict Cumberbatch, they can all do it. But that's not true. Some of them can do it because some of the actors in the UK are very, very good actors. Michael Caine is a very, very good actor. He can do almost any accent. Whereas, and Kate Beckinsale. But when you look at some of them, they just can't do English accent, American accents. It's a very difficult thing to do, especially for a young actress. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, separate. Yeah. And on top of that, I love the 80s idea of X-Men Apocalypse. When they were chanting En Sab Nur at the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, and you saw that skinny little fucking blue dude, I shit my pants. I was like, this is the greatest fucking tie-in ever. Who thought that they'd do an Egyptian god of Apocalypse for the fucking next movie? He doesn't give a fuck, man. He's roping the storylines. Because Days of Future Past itself is so out there. As the last storyline, I would think. No, Age of Apocalypse? It's even crazier.
Well, but that is the basis for Age of Apocalypse, right? Like, that's kind of the backstory for his character.
Exactly it.
So
they're doing exactly what the 90s cartoon did.
Yeah, they're following suit on that end.
They did Dark Phoenix, they did Days of Future Past, and now they're doing Age of Apocalypse. It's literally the cartoon.
Totally. And that's the thing. I think that they know that they're leveraging the fact that there is a whole demographic of 90s kids that are now, making a lot of money, that are
I'm
all
surprised
into this
Spider-Man
shit.
3 wasn't the Spider Slayers with the Kingpin.
I was like, you would think too, like
or
from a
Kraven
Spider-Man,
or somebody.
Although they don't have, Fox doesn't have the Spider-Man license, right? Like, that's a Paramount license.
Sony.
Yeah.
Sony.
Oh, right, it's a Sony license. Yeah. So that's the downside, is because there's all that development that
But they
already
bought it
did on
back
the
from
TV
Sony,
show.
so now Spider-Man's gonna be in the new Avengers is the rumor.
What? Marvel didn't buy it back.
That's what they said.
When?
7 movies, and they buy it back. They did 5, and they did an early clause.
So they got. Are you serious?
That's what I've been reading online.
Avi Arad's like
Production
Golden
company
Boy or whatever was
it kind of was.
Spider-Man.
But that's the thing. Avi Arad, when he started everything, he went to different studios and sold off properties. Sold X-Men to Fox, sold his Spider-Man, sold Daredevil to Paramount, and or to Fox as well. And then now when Kevin Feige took over, because Avi Arad and his son went off to their own production company, tied in with Marvel Studios. When Kevin Feige took over, he wanted all under the Marvel umbrella because Marvel had money at that point.
Yeah.
They finally made enough money they could produce their own movies, and then they did Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor under their own banner.
Yeah.
And now they're buying back their properties. They bought back X-Men and they're buying back Sony, Spider-Man.
They bought back X-Men?
That's the rumor, yeah.
Huh.
Because they have Disney money now, right?
Well, yeah, and I'd be more than happy, and actually I would be really happy to see that happen. I would love to see some fucking, like, modern Avengers where we've got, Spider-Man, Wolverine.
The Thing.
The Thing, like, I don't know if they'd ever do that, but...
Defenders,
yeah, but that's what I mean, like, see some more...
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that would be cool, too. Like, more modernized stuff, because a lot of the stories that they're telling and a lot of the stuff they're doing, this is shit from the comics in, like, what? How long ago
The
was
60s,
this stuff?
the 80s, and the 2000s, because it's also a little bit of Ultimate X-Men, right?
They're kind of combining it all together.
Having
and
the black,
even the Ultimates, right? Like,
That's what, it's based on the
and like the Avengers that we all know and love today, that movie audiences are all raving about. about being so amazing. That's actually the Ultimates.
Yes.
And that's a modern
well, like the whole Nick Fury thing. The whole Nick Fury thing was like, no, this is who's going to play. I mean, the
joke in the comic book was that fucking Samuel Jackson was going to play
Downey Jr.
and Robert Downey Jr. was going to play Iron Man.
Lucy Liu would play Wasp, and Steve Buscemi would play Hulk.
And like
Mark Ruffalo does a better job.
I would say so.
He's the best Hulk I've ever seen.
As a Hulk.
I don't even like Mark Ruffalo that much, but I love him as Hulk. He's so perfect.
And they did a great job with the from a CGI perspective with the Hulk in the Avengers film than I've ever seen it done in the past.
I disagree. I think.
Do you think Hulk, it was better in
Hulk 1?
What? Hulk 2, green,
Hulk 2 did
looking beast.
Did not look like Ed Norton when he transformed. Hulk 1, the face is based off Eric Bana. It's the only one that's actually based on.
But I would still say that the one based on Mark Ruffalo is still better than the Eric Bana.
I don't think so.
One.
I think the Eric Bana one looks more like Eric Bana than Mark Ruffalo does. I think Mark Ruffalo has a more generic look than Eric Bana does.
Oh, intriguing.
I'm going to show you them side by side, and I know you'll agree.
We'll do
with
an
me.
A/B test.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck you.
Of all the superhero movies, though, of all your superheroes, who's the one that you like the best?
Of all the superhero movies?
No, all the superheroes. Who do you want to see on film that has not been on film yet?
Oh, that hasn't been on film.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Tweedle Ejiofor as Black Panther.
Oh, you mean like the ones that are planned?
No, maybe no ones that aren't planned. I mean, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man is interesting to me too, but I don't like him as Ant-Man, to be honest. I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
I love him. But Ant-Man abused his wife. He's a psychopath who created Ultron. Mm-hmm. He needs to be someone who can do that dark side. I think the guy who did Night Owl from Watchmen is perfect for Ant-Man.
Yeah. Well, I am excited to see Paul Rudd. I have been, since they announced, and even before then, looking forward to the Doctor Strange film.
Yeah.
And I think that they picked a very awesome actor to be in that role. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, like, most of the characters that I grew up with and know and love have started coming to the screen more and more.
Who would you like to see in the Gambit movie? I know Channings's side to it.
In a Gambit movie?
Yeah.
Well, would they use the same actor they used in that first Wolverine film?
No. Taylor Kitsch from Friday Night Lights is not doing it in Origins. They're doing a standalone movie with who I just said. I just blanked on the name again.
Well,
on Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum's doing a solo movie.
As Gambit?
Yeah, because he's from Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's Cajun. Yeah. And he even said, he's like, I would love to do Jumbo and something like that. He's like a nickname for Gambit. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's just my favorite. And I grew up in Louisiana, so I'm from there. I speak Cajun. And people are like, who's that? He's like, oh, Gambit. That's just his nickname that Wolverine gave him. That's proof he actually read the comic and then knows who he is.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum's a legit fan. I just don't know how I like him as Gambit.
Well, I would say out of all the films that they have kind of announced, that stuff that has been coming up, the one that I'm really looking forward to is fucking Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
It's filmed in Vancouver.
I know.
Should be amazing. Breaking the fourth wall.
That's the main thing, like allowing them to move into that space of being much more meta than they have in the past.
Because the only good part about Wolverine Origins was Ryan Reynolds.
That Wolverine Origins was not a good movie.
Although the funny thing is that the director's incredible. He did. He's the guy who did this movie called Tootsie, which won an Oscar for Best Foreign Film, and he also did Ender's Game.
Well, I think we talked about
Gavin
that
Hood.
years ago. We talked about this when this was first coming out, and I think the main thing that happened was just the story, the plot, and the script were just not up to par.
No,
not whatsoever.
Whereas the guy who played Keamy in Lost, who also played the Blob in the movie, fantastic job. Deadpool, fantastic job. Hugh Jackman, fantastic job. Just something didn't sit right in the script.
Well, and it was fucked up what they did with Deadpool. Like
the merc with the mouth, they take away his fucking mouth.
Yeah, I know, but it was just like, what? Like, why would you do that?
And also, they fucked up the storyline by having what's her name, Snow Queen, Emma Frost as a child there, having Cyclops kidnapped by Sabretooth, then not remembering it later when he fights Sabretooth in X-Men 1. Like, it was just very, very fucked up.
So in PG-13 movies, you're allowed one use of the word fuck.
Yeah.
The best film to ever use that is X-Men First Class.
When did they say fuck?
Professor Xavier and Magneto come up to Logan.
Oh yeah, fuck off. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. That was perfect. X-Men, apparently X-Men Apocalypse ties into that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Should be cool.
Well, and I liked how they made it. I know it's always common, but I liked how they made X-Men Days of Future Past Wolverine-centric. How they still
Days of
made
Future
him
Past was Wolverine-centric, though.
Sorry?
I mean, Days of Future Past was him and Storm in the future, Storm with the Mohawk, and him fighting the
You notice how all fucking X-Men films are all
Which is funny,
Wolverine-centric?
because like, as a kid, I loved Wolverine because no one loved him. He was Canadian, he was short.
Totally.
Yeah, and then he became, for some reason, he just caught on. People figured out what I loved, and now I'm like, fuck Wolverine. He's in everything.
Well, he was the anti-hero, right? Prior to the 90s, 80s and 90s, the anti-hero hadn't really been done a whole lot. And that's
Not in the way that he did. I mean, the only time the anti-hero's really done it is Frank Miller's Dark Knight in 1986, which is the greatest comic book ever written, I think. Dark Knight Strikes and Dark Knight Strikes Again, which they made movies of, which, okay, here's funny. They made movies from RoboCop, right? The guy who played RoboCop, Peter Weller, he's the voice of Batman, whereas Michael Keaton was in the new RoboCop, and he was Batman. Interesting enough. Yeah, Frank Miller wrote that, which is incredible.
Didn't you write RoboCop 3?
He wrote RoboCop 1, 2, and 3. He invented RoboCop.
You wrote all 3?
Yeah, we have a Skype call with all the Gamergate people that we go on in the evenings. It's like 24 hours a day. And we chat from people around the world, and we watch like shitty movies together. You should come on. It's so much fun.
Intriguing.
It is so much fun. And it's all like the people that are serious in Gamergate, like Monday Matt and stuff, they're all on that call. Anyway, so...
Is Gamergate still a thing that's going on?
No, we're all just friends now.
Oh, okay. I was like, this should... I thought
it's over.
It should die
We're all
months
just
ago.
buddies now.
Okay.
And we watch like shitty old movies. We watch like Godzilla, War on Monsters. We watched like RoboCop, Judge Dredd. What else do we watch? Shitty movies. Ghostbusters 2, Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
We all get on Skype. We sync up the movie and watch it together and like riff track it. It's so much fun.
I think next up it needs to be Street Fighter.
Dude, it has to be Street Fighter. I'm gonna bring you in for Street Fighter. We'll do Street Fighter.
Good old Jean-Claude.
God damn. That movie is supposed to be a G.I. Joe movie, and that's all that military shit. But then the Street Fighter franchise blew up, so they switched to Street Fighter at the last second, which is why it doesn't make sense. And there's all that military shit. I'm like, Guile's the main character, not Ryu. Because it was a G.I. Joe movie up until 2 weeks before production. Seriously. There's Cobra shit still on the walls when you watch the movie.
Seriously?
Yeah, we'll watch it. We'll do riff track.
I need to look into that. I did not know that. I'm surprised
that insane?
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Isn't that insane? I didn't fucking know until recently.
Yeah.
So insane. We watched.
So is he supposed to be Duke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's supposed to be Joe,
Flint?
I guess.
Oh, he's gonna play a character called Joe?
Well, actual G.I. Joe, like the original white.
Oh, like they're
dude.
going back to the
the original, the first
50s and shit?
Yeah. Not even. It was like 70s,
70s?
I think so. Vietnam, right?
I don't know when all the G.I. Joes came out.
Vietnam,
I only know like the
70s.
80s rendition of like, Cobra Commander and
cartoon we
Serpentor and
watched.
Duke
Yeah.
and Flint and
I'm pretty sure it was all based on the Vietnam War, and Joe was an original character. And then we know like obviously like Snake Eyes and those guys, and Duke and Dozer and those motherfuckers. But yeah, they have those other guys too.
So what are you looking forward to from because it was really weird.
If I could make my own superhero movie, it'd be Vin Diesel and Ghost Rider. That'd be my movie.
Vin Diesel and Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he's perfect. I would do Ghost Rider.
So no more Nicolas Cage.
No, I love Nick Cage for his campiness. I hate him as Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I couldn't even get through the first one. I didn't
make it through the first one. I haven't even
turned it off.
I haven't even made it through fucking Monsters Inc. I turn off movies, man. I'll turn off a fucking movie.
How could you not make it through Monsters
I hate
Inc?
Monsters Inc. That was boring and shitty.
What?
I don't find Billy Crystal funny.
Well,
I understand what he's done for stand-up in the back in the day, and I actually like old stand-ups. I like Kinnison. I like fucking Bill Hicks, but I just can't stand Billy Crystal. I never thought he was funny. It's just like I don't like him. I don't like finding Nemo because the dude who does his voice, that comedian, I don't find him funny at all.
you didn't like City Slickers?
No. The funny thing is, I like City Slickers 2. And then pretend to kill the curly-haired dude, and he ends up beating the shit out of him. Like, I love that one. I didn't like City Slickers 1 at all.
Huh.
Yeah, Fool's Gold was a better movie in my mind, and I know it's not. I just like it better. But it's also like Die Hard. I like Die Hard This Time with a Vengeance, but I like Die Hard 1.
Die Hard with a Vengeance was a really good movie, but I am also super fond of Die Hard and Die Hard 2.
Do you like Live Free or Die Hard?
No.
See, I love that movie. I fucking love that movie.
Well, I wouldn't say that I like.
I know it's a
have
shit movie.
hate for
Listen,
it or dislike.
everyone
for
hates it.
Well,
Everyone
no.
hates it.
What was the most recent one?
A Good Day to Die Hard.
That one is fucking horrible.
I like that one too.
Dude, that movie there is no plot.
That's why I like it. It's just action. It's great.
That does not make a good film.
Lack of plot, a good film it does not make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to have character development. You got to raise the stakes, and you have to have fucking
How do you
dialogue.
raise a He sucker punched an F-22 into an overpass. There's no like getting over that.
What the fuck?
Is there an event going on upstairs?
So we're getting applause for how amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, if I could create a movie, that's the movie I would create. The most plausible movie that's coming out is Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and that's brilliant. Benedict Cumberbatch is one of my favorite. Him and Michael Fassbender are my two favorite actors, I would say, modern.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender in Prometheus does not get enough love. That was an Oscar-worthy performance. The movie's not Oscar-worthy. The performance is.
They should do a John McClane Predator crossover.
I would love that. AVP 3, John McClane versus Predator versus Alien versus Terminator versus RoboCop.
Holy shit.
Carl Urban as RoboCop is good. Carl Urban's great.
Whatever happened? Do you remember?
No, sorry, not Carl Urban.
Carl
The guy-
Urban. I was
no,
like,
Carl
no.
Urban's in RoboCop, and the dude
Carl Urban's Dredd.
in Dredd. Yeah, he's Dredd. The dude as RoboCop. What's the name from The Killing? He's a Swedish guy. He's like from Sweden, from the original Killing, where he did the series in North America. Amazing series, by the way. And the guy did True Detective. Maybe one of the best shows ever made.
True Detective was amazing.
Yeah. His other show, the main detective from that, who's from the original Dutch version, is in this one, is RoboCop. And fantastic job. Perfect American accent. A great actor. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. This is hilarious. You should have a laugh track for all of them. Or an applause track. When you were growing up, what was the most important to you? Of all the robots, who was the most important to you?
Of all the robots?
Yeah, I'm talking about Dredd with his robot bike. I'm talking about Terminator. I'm talking about RoboCop. Let's talk about Highlander. Let's talk about the 80s stars. Who was important to you?
Well, if we're looking strictly at robots and
Not robots. Let's say all superheroes. Let's say Schwarzenegger to Van Damme to...
Well, are we
Snipes.
going 80s or 90s? Because
go both.
I was
Let's go
like
both.
elementary, not even barely alive in the 80s.
Yeah, I was born in the 80s.
And 90s is when more came into my own, and by that time, I was very much one of those Fox kids. You know, I had X-Men.
Yes.
I had.
But you grew up in action
Spider-Man.
movies, live action movies.
In as far
Chuck
as
Norris maybe, Sidekicks.
Chuck Norris for sure.
Sidekicks is one of my favorite movies.
Like Three Ninjas.
Oh, fuck, I love it. Did you Escape from Rebel Mountain?
Oh,
the
God.
first time that I went to a movie where I was me and my cousins were the only people in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, only ones.
Even in that time frame, it was like Aladdin, Lion King, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and also, the Mario Brothers movies came out when we were growing up.
Yeah, but I never connected with them.
Yeah, it wasn't a good film. Don't get me wrong.
Well, it didn't even look like Mario, whereas Mortal Kombat looks like Mortal Kombat, and I like Mortal Kombat.
Yes, and to be honest, if you rewatch the Mortal Kombat first movie today, it is still entertaining. I still laugh at that
It's not good,
shit.
though.
No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it is still entertaining.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I would say that I was still very ingrained in Star Wars initially when I was growing up.
See, I never grew up with Star Wars.
Yeah, totally grew up with Star Wars. Like, my parents had it recorded on VHS and Betamax tapes,
Right.
and we'd watch that shit growing up. Like me, and my
still never
brothers.
seen it.
You still never watched the original 3.
Still never seen the original 3.
Oh man! Once they released the Blu-ray of the theatrical versions of the original films, I would highly recommend you watch them.
I got a gift of all the movies remastered with the new CG on DVD. And I was like, I'm not watching this. Whereas I know more about Star Wars than I bet 90% of Star Wars fans. I honestly do. I probably know more about.
But you've watched all the prequels.
I've seen all the prequels. I've read a couple of the books. I've seen every Family Guy and Robot Chicken where they make fun of it. I know about the Sarlacc pit. I know about Jabba. I know about like the Tuscan sandworms. I know about all this shit. I know Greedo shot first. I know like a lot of shit that like most fans probably don't know. But yet I've never seen the films.
So we are going to tie you up and Clockwork Orange style, keep your eyelids open.
Yeah.
And we're going to put the Star Wars original trilogy.
Yeah, we can do that.
In its most original form.
Yeah.
On an 80-inch television.
I have one, yeah.
And we're going to make you watch them all.
I don't need to force me to. I will watch them, but it's just like I never had a chance to sit down and actually sit down.
Let's marathon it. Let's marathon
it.
Let's do it. We will podcast every
We'll live
episode.
stream the entire thing.
You want to live stream the entire thing?
Yeah, we'll get on the Skype call. We'll get everybody in. We'll all live stream the entire thing.
All right, I'm down.
Let's fucking knuckle that.
I got nothing better to do with my life.
Tell me about Battle of the Five Armies and how you feel about that on a personal level.
Battle of the Five Armies.
Do you know how I feel about Lord of the Rings?
So, this is gonna be a little depressing. I didn't go watch it.
What? Sweetie, I need a napkin. Annabelle, get a napkin. Napkin, please.
So I was super pumped, stoked, and excited when the first Hobbit film came out.
Oh yeah.
And I was even buying into this bullshit about got to check out 48 frames per second, blah 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 blah. And so I went and saw it, and it looks like garbage. It looked like I was watching a soap opera from the UK.
From the UK, yeah, because it's too smooth. I'm pal.
But I still rewatched the first Hobbit film, and I did enjoy it. 24 frames per second. It was great, good. Then I went and saw the second one in the theater, like the week it came out, and I enjoyed it, but I was, in my mind, I was like, this shit is getting fucking long. I read The Hobbit as a child, and then I reread
none of
it.
this is in The Hobbit.
I'm not even watching the fucking Hobbit anymore.
The fifth movie is about a time when Frodo was knocked out for the entire, Bilbo was knocked out for the entire movie.
Apparently. So I haven't even had a chance to go out and check out the most recent one, even though it's been out for over a month now.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Fight scenes are fun. I didn't like the final fight scene between not Theoden. Fucking what's his name? No, the main king.
The main dwarf?
Thorin, yeah.
Thorin Oakenshield.
Thorin and that fake character they made up. Didn't like that. Didn't like Toriel's finish. Toriel's been useless this whole fucking time. Beautiful. Holy shit, she's beautiful. Useless. Completely useless. The Smaug storyline finishes up shittily, and that dude never shows up really again. Yeah, I have a lot of problems with the last movie, but it was still like fucking fun, man. It's so much fun.
Well, I will admit that I did enjoy how the Hobbit films were a lot more fun than the Lord of the Rings films.
But not as good.
No. The Lord of the Rings films were by far better, and I enjoyed the story and the way it was done.
I'll tell you, Billy Connolly in the last movie is the one that you're gonna want to see, because Billy Connolly is like, his character is so fucking perfect.
What is his?
His character is the brother of Thorin, the cousin of Thorin, and he rides a giant war pig and headbutts people. He's so much fucking fun. He was even Last Samurai. Like, who's the best character in Last Samurai? Fucking Billy Connolly. He's like, even when Tom Cruise is like, you should go, we're gonna lose this battle, we're all gonna die. He's like, you can go right and fuck yourself, sir. Cocks his gun and gets there to fight the samurai. That's fucking badass. Billy Connolly is hilarious and talented. And I love Monty Python too, so I mean, easy right now. But this year, not excited for any movie. There's no movie I'm excited for. I'm not excited for Age of Ultron, although Ultron's my favorite villain.
Well, and to be honest, in the 2 trailers that they have released, I have not been very interested.
No.
And it frustrates me immensely because I loved the...
It looks like Iron Man 3, doesn't it? Same set and everything?
Kind of. It's just, I
they
don't
go to
understand.
that old, bombed-out barricade place and shit.
It's all like depressing and shit, and the trailer, it just... The best part about the Avengers film was the characters' interaction with one another.
Yes.
The story was great. The high point...
Good.
But the high point with Iron Man, with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and the catharsis of him, sacrificing himself from being a very
pulling the nuke into the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I felt like they did a great job with what they had for their story. And this time around, it just really feels, at least from what I get a sense of on the trailers as it stands, is kind of depressing. And just seems like, yes, it's the second film in the series, and they're usually always
Ultron
like that,
was depressing. I mean, on our first episode we ever did together. Oh, me, you, and Dom. I talked about my favorite panel from Avengers, because we were talking about Avengers might be coming out, right? Mm-hmm. My favorite panel from Avengers is Ultron defeated everybody, killed half the people, half of them are dead. Thor rises up, points Mjolnir at him, is like, and says, Ultron, we would like to have a word with thee. And you see Captain America's shield crack, but Thor stands up. Mm-hmm. And that was like my favorite moment ever in comics. And I clipped it, I put it as a display picture on that episode. And they're going to have that moment in this movie. Thor's going to stand up, point his hammer at Ultron and say,
think so?
I would like to have a word with thee.
Right.
And I'm fucking so excited for that moment.
All right, good.
But that being said, in that storyline where Ultron murders everybody, Iron Man is useless, Captain America is useless, Scarlet Witch is interesting, Thor is interesting, Quicksilver is interesting, and then no one else matters. Miss Marvel's useless, everyone's useless. So what are they going to do in the movie? Are they going to have, Chris Evans be completely useless in the film? Like, have no Hulk? Mm-hmm. Like, they have a Hulkbuster moment, but I'm thinking that might be a midway point. I don't think that's the finale.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Ultron's the finale. Him turning the Hulk is just a midway thing. Hulkbuster armor, I'm super excited for. Don't tell me the Hulkbuster armor doesn't look fucking badass.
There are some good parts.
It looks like fucking, what's his name? Juggernaut, doesn't it? It comes out like that.
When, do you know when the release date for that is?
It's in June 14th, I think.
And moving along forward in regards to trailers that have come out recently, what are your thoughts on the new Star Wars trailer?
Pause it right here.
Just gonna hit play. There you go.
Okay, so on the final note, the Star Wars trailer.
Yes, Star Wars trailer.
Fuck Reddit, fuck the internet, fuck Twitter. The lightsaber claymore is cool as fuck, and it's practical.
How is that practical?
Because
how is that fucking practical?
Every sword needs a hilt or whatever it's called.
Okay, let's look at.
But what, your hand is gonna slide off, and you're gonna cut your fingers right
No,
off.
because there's two little knobs at the end. Okay, hold on. Let me take you back to time. It's 2001. You hear the song. Dun 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 dun, and you see two fucking lightsabers expand.
Duel of the Fates, yes.
He's holding his hand out. Duel of Fates plays. Darth Maul expands two lightsabers, and you shit your pants.
You literally shit in your pants.
Everywhere. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever been in. It was worse than Blair Witch vomit everywhere. It was shit everywhere because everyone was like, "Fucking Darth Maul's about to throw down with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan at the same time."
But they win.
But how is the hilt practical?
Darth Maul was the coolest.
We're not going to talk about Darth Maul.
I'm saying he had a modified lightsaber.
I am. To be honest, out of all of the characters in the modern prequel franchise of Star Wars that they should not have fucking killed off, it was Darth Maul.
I agree.
He was the coolest fucking thing.
Toad.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow. He was the Headless Horseman. He's amazing.
Yes. It was.
He's Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, but basically, that was. They should not have killed him off. That aside. It's not fucking practical to have a hill. These little tiny fucking
There was many times where they hit lightsabers and it slides to the edge and they stop. Whereas if it kept going, it would just chop off his fucking hand if he had a claymore.
So you think this is practical?
Well, why did they have pummels and hilts on swords? Not just to make them look like a cross, but to have them as fucking hilt guards. A hilt guard makes sense.
No, but the hilt guard on a normal sword, it's not made of a fucking laser that will cut your own hand off.
I know, this is way better. Because they'll cut your fucking hand off if you try to fuck with it.
Okay, so hilt aside,
yes.
What did you think of the trailer?
Hate R2-D2 ball. Makes no sense. Completely useless.
With a fucking weird robot thing.
Black Stormtrooper. Confusing. Don't like it.
I didn't mind that. I liked it.
Girl on Tuscan Sand Rider wearing a fucking thing. She looks like Queen Amidala. Super in. Because I think that's Queen Amidala's daughter. The actress that plays her.
Probably
Princess Leia,
not
sorry.
Princess Leia. Probably Princess Leia's daughter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and she's
Queen Amidala, Princess Leia. Whatever. Same shit.
Queen Amidala.
Grandma
Yeah,
versus mom versus daughter. Same shit. I think that's fucking fantastic. Black Stormtrooper. What else is that? That's all I remember from the trailer. Black Stormtroopers and R2-D2 balls.
I thought the trailer was well done, and then they have the.
I didn't like it.
They have the high point where it brings in the music, and the Millennium
The
Falcon
X-Wings
comes
flying
up.
over the water
X-wing was super
fucking
cool.
yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I thought it's a teaser trailer. You know,
But you've seen the teaser for Star Wars, the original Star Wars? There's a better teaser than this one is.
I haven't seen the teaser from the original
Teaser
Star Wars.
Okay, here are the best teasers of all time. Resident Evil Apocalypse of all fucking movies. It was a skin commercial. It's called New Regenerous Cream.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was
brilliant.
a cool
Because
commercial.
when you were watching movies back then, L'Oreal and Maybelline had huge pushes for their skin cream, right? So you saw skin cream commercials all the time. So them spoofing that was brilliant for the time. Alien, one of the best trailers I've ever seen. The Shining, best teasers I've ever seen. Jurassic Park 3 and what's it called? Fright Night.
Right.
Colin Farrell.
The new one.
Yeah.
You really like that one.
Fantastic movie, amazing teaser.
Yeah.
Everything I wanted to see was in that teaser. I was so excited. Also, Cloverfield and Planet of the Apes was also very, very good.
Yeah.
You see Rise?
No, I didn't watch the new Planet
Best
of the
movie of the year, probably.
Best movie of the year.
Of the year. Yeah.
That's a pretty strong statement.
I'm telling you that, like, I've seen Commissioner Gordon in a lot of different roles. I've seen him in Leon the Professional. I've seen him in as the bad guy in Fifth Element. I've seen him as Dracula, and I'm telling you, his best fucking movie is goddamn the new Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
All right. Well,
The movie's so good.
what's where are we at for Oscars coming up?
I don't know. All I know is what's it called? Grand Budapest is nominated for everything and should win everything.
It should win.
And
But
Birdman.
you just said that the other film was the
Best action movie of the year.
Oh.
I'd say, yeah. Sorry, when I say best movie of the year, I always consider it to its genre. Like best superhero movie of the year, X-Men. Best action movie of the year, Planet of the Apes.
Did you watch Boyhood?
Yeah.
You did. I haven't seen it yet, so please no spoilers.
First half hour, but yeah.
So you gave up?
No, I'll watch the rest of it. It's amazing. It's
okay.
incredible.
Okay.
But I wanted to watch it with her.
Okay, understandable.
I
Watching
watched
it
it with
the ladies,
my buddy
probably.
Ian, and like we both have been following that movie for about 16 years. We're all Ethan Hawke fans. Back when he did Alfonso Cuarón's Great Expectations, back in like 2001, I guess.
Gattaca days.
Yeah. And we started following pretty intensely there. And then when he was in Trading Day, I'm like, okay, I need to know everything he does.
Well, and also Richard Linklater, you know, he did
Yeah,
Dazed and
Linklater.
Confused,
Yeah.
Waking Life, and
Waking Life, I like. Dazed Confused is okay.
Scanner Darkly was good.
I don't like Scanner Darkly.
You didn't like it?
Nah, wasn't for me.
Scanner Darkly.
It was too slow.
So, Best Picture nominees: Whiplash, American Sniper, Birdman,
Birdman will win.
Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game,
Intimidation Game.
Imitation Game,
Intimidation Game, isn't it?
Imitation Game.
Is it actually? I've been calling the Intimidation Game this entire
It's
time.
The Imitation Game.
Oh, whoa. That actually makes the movie